Hey guys, good morning. Hope you're well. So, ideas are pretty much worthless without execution, and it's a hard reality and a hard lesson to learn, especially when you're a first-time entrepreneur, and even as a more mature entrepreneur like myself, you tend to still underestimate just how hard it is to get traction. What I mean by traction is sales, growth, exposure, right, and all those things. So again, ideas are important because that's what gets you started. But too much of the industry and online and a lot of courses I see and just things out there that people want to take your money and want to consult and want to do things for you is all based around the idea, filing the LLC, the logos, the strategy, the marketing plan, all that. But none of them, because obviously they'd be shooting themselves in the foot, none of them talk about, or I haven't found any of them that really talk about traction and how difficult it is. And that's where you want to start with. Real quick after the idea. I mean, that's as soon as you've got an idea, as soon as you've kind of figured out what you want to do and work on, the very next thing is to figure out the traction, right? How are you going to get the message out there? How are you going to get your product or idea or services in front of potential customers? And most of the time, for 99% of us, it's going to be paid advertising, right? And obviously the internet is a great tool for that, much more affordable than before the internet was around, where no one, unless you were a big company, could afford commercials and ad budgets. So that's definitely an edge, but it definitely takes money, right? And very few, some will viral out, some will have a hot video, like the Dollar Shave Club. If you guys go back and look at that video, that's a video they spent a couple $1,000 on and it went viral, right? So short of that, and that can happen, but I would not be basing your growth in your business on getting viral, because viral is almost 100% luck. You just don't know what's going to viral out, right? And you've seen a lot of other companies that have tried to mimic the Dollar Shave Club video to try to get the same type of viralness going on, and so you can't plan for that, and so since those things are most likely not going to happen, how are you going to get eyeballs? How are you going to get people to look at what you're working on, right? You could do it organically, meaning, like for me with this channel here, I'm doing these videos. I'm not doing paid ads, so very few people are seeing the videos, unless one of them gets a little bit more popular and has a little bit maybe of a viral effect. Maybe then people will tune in and see the other. But until then, just doing organic, who knows how long it takes. I mean, I could be doing 5 years of these type of videos and have 100 subscribers, and that's okay, because again, the original premise of these videos and this channel is for me just to have my thoughts out there, specifically first and foremost for my kids and future grandkids, so they can learn from things that I believed in and thought were true. And if others stumble on it and hopefully are able to pick some nuggets from these videos, then that's great. But just doing it organically, if I was doing this as a business, very difficult, right? Very, very difficult, unless one of the videos goes viral. So what's the next quote unquote easiest way is turn on ads. But ads take money, right? So if I were to turn on ads to this channel, obviously I get more people looking at the videos, but I'm paying money. I'm paying money to somebody to help set up the ads. I'm paying money every day to Google, Instagram, TikTok, all those places to show the ads, show the videos. So, and who knows, how much money that's going to take. The other thing you have to remember, and I've said this in a previous video, But the Facebooks of the world, those companies viraled out. Pinterest, they viraled out. They could have never raised or spent the type of money that they would need to acquire every customer. Most of those customers, now obviously they have ad budgets, right? They've obviously acquired customers through ads, but the vast majority of the customers of those platforms, which is why they viraled out, is organic. They viraled out organically and gained customers that way from word of mouth, which what viralness is, right? It's basically an internet version of word of mouth on steroids. But without that, they would not have been able to have the growth that they have. And people forget, when MySpace, and I didn't even use MySpace. I wasn't really using the internet at that time. And MySpace was before, it was kind of the pre-Facebook. And even when Facebook came out, there was a lot of similar platforms like Facebook that were out there. So, those guys were not the only idea. We weren't the only guys with an idea to do that sort of business. There were others doing the same thing. And that's where luck, right? We talked about the 4 things for a business to take off: idea, execution, luck, and timing, right? That's where luck also plays a big part, where you don't know which platform is going to viral out. And that's, as I said in the previous video, that's what sucks sometimes about being an entrepreneur, because you could have a Facebook idea when Facebook started. So now people say, well, I wish I had that idea. Others did. Facebook was not the only one. So you can have the idea, you can work just as hard as the founders at Facebook started. So you're executing, right? Idea execution. Your timing, the timing is good, but your luck's off in the sense that Facebook is the one that virals out and the one that ends up being the winner. And you did all that work, and that's just the hard truth, the cool hard truth about entrepreneurship sometimes. And I meet a lot of entrepreneurs, and I've met a lot of entrepreneurs that luck played a big part of it. I mean, they had the idea, they worked hard, but luck was a big part of it, and they don't realize it, right? So their ego gets inflated, thinking that it was their hard work, which it was definitely part of their hard work, but big part of it was luck, right? They viraled out, the timing, the right client came along, they found that one client that really helped them scale. So just really think through traction. I want to make sure I keep this video on traction. I'll be doing more videos on traction. It's so important, and it's not talked about enough. You really got to think through, even though you're not going to have it figured out, right? Because you have nothing figured out until you start and you try and you kind of start getting some traction. But what's your strategy for traction, for sales, right? Don't spend all your time and energy and money initially filing the LLC, making sure I got the right name of the company, make sure I got the right logo, the right website. I mean, that's not what's important. You want to have something that's obviously professional looking and a good draft, but traction, right? How much is it going to cost you to turn on the traffic? Because you're going to have to. How much is it going to cost you online to acquire a customer? And do you have the margins to afford that? Because a lot of businesses, unfortunately, don't have the margin to do that. Some businesses, to acquire a customer, the click cost, the views are way too expensive. That when you look at the conversion rate, they can't afford that much traffic. And you got to remember, the conversion rates are really, really, really low. I mean, on Google search, for example, 0.5% to 1%, that's great, right? For every 100 clicks, if you can get a sale, that's amazing. But there's some industries out there that one click could be $10, $20. Can you afford that? Do you have enough margin in your business? So really think about that, because a lot of entrepreneurs learn that the hard way. A lot of entrepreneurs, and me included when I started. I'm not going to call it a mistake, because I learned a lot like every other entrepreneur. But when I first started, I was like a lot of entrepreneurs, enamored with that idea at the time. Oh man, what a great idea. And focused on that and listened to the people around me. You gotta file an LLC, and you gotta get your logo, and you're spending money with all these different providers that are just making money off of people's dreams, which is good. It's good to dream, but I know a lot of people don't have traction experience, but people don't think about traction. How am I actually gonna get this off the ground running and getting some momentum? So I'd say like this: don't really go into a business, into an idea, until you've got an idea of what how you're going to get traction. What's it going to cost you? And I will put the money there first before I go put it into logos and websites and LLCs and attorneys and patents and all these other things that the internet and the media and just agencies are just trying to get you to buy, right? They're making billions of dollars every year off of people that have an idea, want to launch it, and there's this whole billion-dollar industry, just the thought of launching the business, and not enough time being spent on traction. How do you get traction? How do you actually get the business going? So, the other thing I'll say is, as I started in real estate, that's another thing I wanted to mention before I end the video. When I started in real estate all those years ago, I took for granted, because in real estate, right, you've heard the old adage, build it and they will come. And there's a lot of truth to that. I mean, if you do your good market research and your real estate supply and demand, and you build something, let's say you build an apartment building in an area that needs it, it's going to fill up. Worst case, it might not fill up to the prices that you thought you were going to get, but it's going to fill up, right? And so when I went and invested and did other business outside of real estate, that's when I had to come to Jesus moment and really realize about wow, like, to get traction, I'd say outside the real estate world is, it's challenging, and really have to have a game plan, right? Can I afford the ads? Because again, organically, if your business model is, hey, it's a great idea and we're going to viral out, it's going to be word of mouth, man. I'm not, I'm never somebody discouraged an entrepreneur, but that's just going to be could be a really long ride. I mean, just be ready for like a really long ride. And if you have the time and the money to wait that long to do it organically, then try it. But so that's definitely something that for me, coming from the real estate world, and which I'm still, most of my time spent in that world, I understand both. It's really where I understood the power of traction and the importance of it. So make sure you don't underestimate that, and really think through it and have a game plan. So appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, you guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment. I know I'm the same way as well. There's channels sometimes that I watch that I feel like the content is good, and it takes me a little while to subscribe, but like everybody else on all the other videos say, I appreciate if you guys subscribe and comment and like. Helps get the message out, right? Just if other entrepreneurs can benefit from these videos and pick up a couple of these nuggets that will make them more efficient and get them to profitability quicker and balance and happier as an entrepreneur, then it's a win, right? It's a win-win, and we should all be helping each other in this ecosystem of entrepreneurship. So when you're subscribing and liking, sharing, that's what it's doing. It's helping spread that message out organically, right? All right, guys, have a good one. See ya.